The air in post-war Germany was laden with despair, a heavy fog of humiliation and ruin that seeped into the hearts of its people. How does a nation rebuild its identity after being shattered? What happens when collective pain festers, turning into rage, fear, and the desperate search for someone to blame? It was within this fertile ground of discontent that Adolf Hitler rose, a man whose vision of power and ideology would unleash one of the darkest chapters in human history: the Holocaust. To understand the Holocaust through a psychological lens is to journey into the labyrinth of human vulnerability, manipulation, and moral collapse. Hitler himself was a master of exploiting the fractured psyche of a defeated nation. Born in 1889 in Austria, his early years were marked by mediocrity and frustration. A failed artist with a turbulent family life, he drifted, nursing grievances that would later shape his worldview. What transforms a man with unrealized ambitions into a figure capable of orchestrating genocide? Was it his personal failures, his exposure to the fervent nationalism of the time, or something buried deeper within his psyche? Germany, in the aftermath of World War I, was a nation reeling from the terms of the Treaty of Versailles, crippling reparations, territorial losses, and a collective sense of betrayal. Hitler tapped into this pain, weaving a narrative that offered both a scapegoat and a savior. The Jewish people, he proclaimed, were to blame for Germany's plight, and only through their removal could the nation achieve its destiny. How does such an unfounded, grotesque claim take root in the minds of millions? Propaganda played a critical role. The Nazi regime crafted a meticulous campaign to dehumanize Jewish people, portraying them as parasites and threats to German purity. Through posters, films, and speeches, they exploited deep-seated prejudices, fears, and economic anxieties. But propaganda alone cannot explain the complicity of an entire society. What compels ordinary people to participate in, or turn a blind eye to, such atrocities? Was it fear of reprisal, blind allegiance, or a more profound psychological phenomenon like the diffusion of responsibility? The Holocaust, the systematic extermination of 6 million Jews and millions of others deemed undesirable, unfolded with chilling efficiency. Concentration camps like Auschwitz became industrial sites of death, their grim purpose hidden behind banal euphemisms like final solution. The sheer scale of the Holocaust forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about human nature. How can individuals commit unspeakable acts when ordered to do so? How does ideology override empathy, turning neighbors into enemies? Psychologists have long grappled with these questions. Stanley Milgram's famous obedience experiments in the 1960s shed light on the disturbing ease with which people follow authority, even when it conflicts with their moral compass. In the context of the Holocaust, the perpetrators often justified their actions by claiming they were simply following orders. Yet this defense obscures the troubling reality of human agency. Was it only obedience, or did years of indoctrination and desensitization create a sense of moral detachment? Hitler himself remains a figure of profound psychological intrigue. Some historians and psychologists have speculated about his mental health, pointing to possible disorders like narcissistic personality disorder or paranoid schizophrenia. His speeches, brimming with vitriol and fervor, reveal a man deeply convinced of his own righteousness. Yet, behind the facade of confidence lay a fragile ego, intolerant of dissent and obsessed with control. How did this blend of charisma and cruelty enable him to wield such power? As the war turned against Germany, the Holocaust escalated, fueled by a fanatical determination to eradicate Jewish existence. Even as the Allies advanced, resources were diverted to continue the extermination process. What drives such relentless pursuit of destruction? even in the face of inevitable defeat? Was it pure hatred, or did it stem from a twisted need to validate the ideology that had consumed them? For the victims, the Holocaust was an unimaginable horror, yet it also revealed extraordinary resilience and humanity. Diaries like that of Anne Frank offer glimpses into lives lived under the shadow of death, where hope flickered even in the darkest moments. How does one find the strength to endure when stripped of identity, freedom, and dignity? What lessons can we draw from the stories of those who survived? The Holocaust is not merely a historical event, it is a stark reminder of the depths to which humanity can descend. It forces us to confront the fragility of morality and the dangers of unchecked power, prejudice, and propaganda. In the face of such darkness, the question lingers: how do we ensure it never happens again? Is Hitler the only person to blame for the Holocaust? Or was what happened also the result of a collective pain that had been festering for some time, a kind of cultural fear that eventually transformed into rage? If so, who else is to blame, if anyone? Let us know what you think in the comments. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more videos like these.